Most people associate artist Andy Warhol with his pop art of celebrities and soup cans, yet he also created more than 10,000 images of flowers during the course of his career, which leads perfectly to a display at Selby Gardens. So I took a field trip to see Warhol, Flowers in the Factory. Let's take a look. Warhol, Flowers in the Factory. What does that mean?
The Factory was the name of Warhol's studio in New York City back in the 60s. But this show features flowers because he's known for a lot of things, but he did a lot of flower paintings in his time. You'll notice that his artwork was often displayed in grids, in rows of things. So you'll see these grid patterns, quadrants, rows, things like that. The second is repetition. You know, he did the same object over and over and over and over, but each time he would twist it, he would change it a little bit. That's sort of these ideas we've played with. And then, of course, color. Warhol was known for using vibrant, sometimes crazy colors. Of course, it was the 60s, wasn't it?
When you think Warhol, you think of the Campbell's soup cans, the iconic celebrity photographs, but in fact, he had this wonderful and surprising connection to nature and made 10,000 flowers during the course of his career. Essentially, what we've done is collected together some very key artworks by Andy Warhol featuring flowers, as well as archival photographs of Warhol in nature.
So that was in Warhol's factory, and these were his hibiscus flowers that he did. But you notice the grid, the repetition. Each of these has a different color, and then behind it is our version. These are all Neoregelia bromeliads. Same thing, but different hybrids, different colors, repeated over and over, all the way down the conservatory, 82 feet worth. This feature has 555 different bromeliads in it. So there are cues here. You know, we've had a lot of fun. We've played with plants. We've painted with plants. How about that? So we put a paver in the ground. And when you stand there, what you'll see is that the tillandsias, these epiphytic bromeliads that we've suspended, are superimposed on those colorful squares. So again, you see all of those themes we've been talking about. You know, another comparison too that some have drawn is, you remember Andy Warhol was famous for his silver spiky wigs, right? His crazy hairdo.
I didn't know those were wigs. I thought that was his hair.
I know, they're wigs, look it up. But of course, some people say the tillandsias, they're reminiscent. They're silvery.
They're his wigs?
Right, because his wigs were typically silvery or white in color.
One of them looks like my hair.
Yeah.
A very bad day.
So a technique we're using more and more is using computer 3D modeling of our pieces for our exhibit. I used this model and I could stand back and look at it, and then I adjusted the wires to the right spot so they would all line up from a certain vantage point. When it was built, it was perfect. We didn't have to experiment because all that had been done virtually.
Why do you think he's lasted so long?
Well, maybe it's the simplicity of his art. You know, certainly as we explored this, we found that the themes were rather simple, but they're a lot of fun to play with.
It is awesome. And you know, a really strange thing happened at Selby. Andy Warhol's nephew came to visit. I don't think they even knew he was coming.
Really?
His name is James Warhol, and he came and he said, my uncle would have loved this. I guess they did know he was coming, because there they are talking to him.
Wow.
Okay, James was not a surprise, but who would think that
gave
Andy Warhol's nephew
honor.
would be here? Yes, and he loved it. So that is just so cool.
That's amazing.
That we got approval for it. But you know, I thought it was really funny because, you know, these are in grids, so all the flowers are exactly the same height. Well, flowers grow, and they grow at different rates. So the horticulturists are always keeping them at the same level.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, not so necessarily pruning them, but making one grow slower than the other. So it's so strange that they can do that.
That is.
You just learn so much about nature when you're looking at that exhibit.
Yeah, I can't wait. We were saying that, you know, it's a little warm out now, but as it's going to maybe get a little cooler, I can't wait to check it out.
Next week is supposed to be cool, so it's going to be perfect for strolling in the
I'm
garden.
going to buy a week-long pass and just sit and look at the bromeliads.
It's beautiful.
Well, and I know the menus are also kind of mirroring the Warhol themes that are there at the
You
cafe.
can have a drink, you can have lunch, it would be really fun.
Cool.
And Warhol Flowers in the Factory runs through June 30th at Selby Botanical Gardens. You can go to their website for more details. Next, Joey has some new phone apps to tell us about.